Hi, I'm Ashley and I'm with the Valley Film Festival, and we're here with writer, actor, producer Allie Leonard from the 2020 film Dosed. This film is about Grace on her 25th birthday on a date with her boyfriend, and the celebration doesn't quite go as planned when he gives her a gift she didn't quite expect. I really liked this piece, Allie, because I thought it was a slice of life piece about women who go through a lot and the men, partners, and family members who have to be there for them through it all. So tell me a little bit about yourself and tell us how this project came to life.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to be a part of the festival. So I am originally from Washington, D.C. That's actually where I am right now. It's where I've been quarantining. And then I went to NYU like you. I went to Tisch, and I was in Playwrights Horizons, which shout out PHTS. I've been in LA for about 4 years now. This project came to life from a real life experience that I went through. And at the time, it wasn't that funny. It was a lot to process. And then as time went on, I kind of realized, wow, this is a really great opportunity to talk about mental health, to talk about relationships, to talk about it in both a personal and funny lens, because life is both of those things.
Right.
So yeah, it felt like a really great opportunity to also process it.
Well, I think that's part of and that's part of the responsibility of the filmmaker, is to present that social emotional awareness, and that's critical in society, I believe, to see what people really go through. Tell us a little bit about how you got connected with your team and how production started on this project.
I'm so lucky because my director, Keith Powell, he and I connected when I first moved to LA, because he's also an NYU person. And yeah, he went to Playwrights too. And he ended up becoming my mentor through this NYU mentorship program. And then he and his wife just kind of adopted me. They're like my family now, basically. So when I was kind of struggling with getting my sea legs in LA, he was like, let's make something. Let's just make something that you want to make. And that's kind of how it all came about too, was he put me in touch with my whole crew, who are incredible. Our DP, Frank, who was like game for literally anything. One of the hardest parts of the shoot was shooting the scene in my car, which is a Toyota Prius. And we had to have 4 people in the car. Our sound person couldn't even be in the car. So it was like we were all on top of each other, not just me and Ian, my co-star. We were literally all on top of each other. So I got really lucky, basically.
Good. Well, tell me, what was your favorite part of shooting this piece?
Honestly, my favorite part was being connected with my crew, and then the cast members who, Ian, my co-star, and everybody who were extras were all of my friends.
Yeah.
I basically just was like, hey, is anybody free? Like, I'll buy you guys dinner if you want to just come and hang out at a fake restaurant. I'll give you a drink while you hang out. So it was a really, really fun set to be on. It was
Where did you shoot at? The real restaurant or a fake restaurant?
Yeah, it's actually a bar. It's called Page 71. It's across the street from Black Market in Studio City. So we filmed it like basically right before they opened for the night. Yeah. So James Michael Bobby is the manager, and he's a friend of Keith's, and he did us a real solid by getting us in and out in like basically 5 hours before they actually opened the bar.
Amazing. Yeah, it was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous set. That's the beautiful thing about independent filmmaking, is when you can find those locations and those people who will work with you to see your project come to life. Just a nerdy techie question, what did you guys shoot on? What camera did you shoot on?
Shot on Red.
Cool. Great.
Yeah.
And had you shot on a Red camera before with other films, or?
So nothing that was mine personally. I know Frank had done a bunch. It was actually his camera. He owns it. So it was really nice of him to use it for us.
Yeah.
And I've done like commercials with it before, so I knew that it was gonna
Look good. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I know it's one of the actor's dreams too, to shoot on a red. You talked about one of the biggest challenges being shooting in the car with 4 people in the car. Were there any other challenges that came through pre-production or post-production or anything?
I have to admit, I got pretty lucky. Everything kind of went pretty seamlessly. I have another short film that we made the night before. So we did back to back, same crew.
Cool.
And we basically just shot for like 48 hours straight,
Nice.
where we, like pre-production and then for both. And Keith, I mean, he's a master at planning. So I kind of just followed his lead in terms of timing and stuff. And it made it all kind of work. Literally the hardest part was figuring out the car, because it was so tight, and literally like Frank at one point wasn't even sitting, like he was like doing a squat inside of the car on the front seat holding the camera. I don't even know how he made it look so steady. Like it was nuts. So props to his quads.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to ask a couple more questions. We haven't talked as much about the creative or the story. You said it was something based on a real life experience, but tell me, I guess, about highlighting this experience that I think so many people go through, and just women in film, showing women's stories on screen. Can you talk a little bit about how that felt and what process, why it was important to you to show a female-driven piece?
Yeah, for sure. I think, mental health is something that is very near and dear to my heart. It's something I've struggled with for a long time, and been on ups and downs through my own journey. And I think that a lot of times, women's mental health in particular gets portrayed on screen as like crazy or erratic, or not something that just people deal with in their day-to-day life and have a normal life. And when I was thinking about how I wanted this story to look, I think that it was also important to put the lens of somebody who's in a relationship, because because it affects your partner just as much as it affects you. And it was really important to me that it wasn't tropey on either side, that it felt real, that it felt frustrating, that it also felt funny. And I just think that it's important to have women be able to tell their stories in a not attractive way, in a real way.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was a really beautiful piece, and I want to share it with my husband. I think that anybody should share it with their partners. I hope that it gets out there as much as possible so that people can see what people do go through. Tell me what's next for you.
So I'm actually this weekend I'm a part of a group called Club BYOSS, and we are basically a staged reading of unproduced short scripts. And normally we have the events in person, but we're doing our first virtual one that we are planning for the date change, for Wednesday, September 30th. So I am, like I said, I'm totally tech inept, so this is going to be really interesting for me. We're doing a reading of my script called How to Ask Out Your Hot Pharmacist. And so we're going to be recording that in the next couple days for streaming. And once the world starts to get a little bit back to normal, I don't know that we'll ever have normal, but once we can like be in person, I'm hoping to shoot this as another short.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today, and congratulations on everything going on. And hopefully we will see more of you at the Valley Film Festival soon.